Hello, hello, hello. Hello. Unstable connection. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Hello, hello. If you're just hopping on, tell me who you are, where you're from. Hello? Hello, hello. If you're just hopping on, tell me who you are, where you're from. There goes my nose every time I get on a live. Hello? Hey, Mike, how are you? If you're just hopping on, tell me who you are, where you're from. I'm gonna let a few jump on. We'll get a few. You're okay? And me, I'm good. I don't know how good I'm gonna be in a minute. You'll find out why. Michigan. I just give myself hearts. I don't know how. What's your name from Michigan? Is it Travis? I just like my own live. Pittsburgh. You have a name, Pittsburgh? Sorry, I'm trying to catch up with the chat. Okay. Hi, Travis. Glad to have you here. If you're just hopping on, tell me who you are, where you're from. Brad from Pittsburgh. Welcome. Used to be my team. Go Steelers. And we won't talk about that here either. Kim from Arkansas. Welcome. Jamie from Miami. Welcome. I'm going to let just a few more hop on and then we'll get started. All right, looks like we're hopping up the chain here. So if you're just hopping on, tell me who you are, where you're from. If you're not familiar, I'm Renee. I'm from South Dakota. Thank you for liking the live. I appreciate that. So I'm going to get started. We got a bunch on all of a sudden. So like I said, my name is Renee. I'm from South Dakota. I started my TikTok because on September 14th of 2023, my husband chose to, for TikTok purposes, unalive himself. That's when I discovered that I have these abilities to talk to my guides, and they've led me to my purpose in life, which is to help others get through their traumas, help heal others. And so that's why I created this TikTok. I'm on here to help other people to get through their loss, their trauma, to uplift others. Hi, Tony, where are you from? If you're just hopping on, tell me who you are, where you're from. Sorry, just trying to keep up here. And so that's a little bit of my story, why I started my TikTok from New York. Welcome. I started my TikTok in March only because I'm Savannah, Georgia here. Welcome. I procrastinated. Spirit told me you need to be on TikTok. I procrastinated. All my grandkids were here in March. So I had them help Grandma set it up because Grandma's technologically challenged. Thank you for the follow, Jojo. I appreciate that. Tricky Ricky, thank you for the follow. If you're just hopping on, tell me who you are, where you're from. I apologize. I'm trying to keep up with the chat. It's going really quick. Tony, thank you for liking the live. So that's a little bit of my story, why I started my TikTok. I only have 2 rules on my page. We always be kind here. I am on my journey of life where I am. You are on your journey of life where you are. So I always ask to be kind, and no, we're not going to agree on everything. So all I ask is we agree to disagree. If we can't agree on something, and if you can't, then I just ask that you hop off and keep scrolling. The other thing is hello from Oregon, welcome. We don't talk about politics here. There's a million other pages we can talk about that. This page is for uplifting others and healing. And so that's kind of what my page is about. If you're not familiar with me or my page, thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. I'm just trying to keep up with the chat. Like I said, my name is Renee. I'm from South Dakota. Welcome. If you're not familiar with my page or my videos, you might want to check that out. Basically, my life is an open book. My story is put out there for the world to help others heal. Thank you for the follow. Is it Jane and Ray? I appreciate that. Beautyberry01, thank you for the follow. Do I smoke cigarettes? No. That's kind of a strange question, isn't it? Sorry. And then, so basically that's why I started my channel. And so, like I said, my story, my life is put out there. Spirit uses me and uses my life and my things that I've gone through in my life to help others. Tonight's not going to be any different. Normally, thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. Normally Spirit gives me a topic and that's what we talk about. I do have a topic, but last minute Spirit's like, oh no, now you're going to talk about this. And of course, it's about my life. Thank you for sharing the live. I appreciate that so much. So once again, I'm going to share parts of my life. It's going to get put out there for the world. I'm getting used to that. And all I ask is that, like I said, you just be kind if you comment. Hola. I'm not good with other languages. I'm sorry. So yeah, I might get a little bit emotional. I'm going to apologize ahead of time for that because they just kind of threw this at me about 7:15, knowing that I was going to go live at 7 o'clock. I generally go live Sunday through Thursday between 7 and 8 o'clock Mountain Time. You're welcome to join us. We talk about healing here. We talk about loss here. If you're lonely and you're just looking for a community, this is your place. So, with all that being said, I'm going to go ahead and get started. Thank you for the follow, Jim. I appreciate that. Okay, here goes nothing. All right, so this is something that I have never shared on my page, whether it be via video or live. Thank you for the follow, Robert. I'm going to try and keep up with that and also talk about what Spirit wants me to talk about tonight. So if you're just hopping on, you're not familiar, I'm just going to repeat just a little bit. So I created this channel because September 14th of 23, for TikTok purposes, my husband unalived himself. That's when I discovered I have abilities to talk to my guides and what my purpose in life was, which is to help others. So I'm going to talk a little bit about my life. Spirit always puts my life out there. I'm the example. I'm the guinea pig. I'm used to it. So this is something, like I just said, I've never shared with anybody on a live or via video. Thank you, Matthew. I appreciate that. Spirit says I need to share this because it could help someone. So this is why I'm sharing. So I pray that it gets to the person that hopefully needs to hear this tonight. Many times in my life before my husband passed away, when things would go wrong in my life, I would say, I hate my life. Like I said, I apologize. I might get emotional. It just came to the forefront. If any of you know anything about right now, we've been in Mercury retrograde, which means lots of feelings and unresolved feelings are coming up, right? So this is one of the things that came up, and Spirit said tonight, 15 minutes before my live, no, now this is what you're going to talk about. So many times when I would get frustrated and, hi, how are you? Welcome back. I'm pretty sure you've been here before. When I would get frustrated with life, which sometimes was often, I would say, I hate my life. As this came up actually it's only been a couple days ago, I've been working through this because what I didn't realize is I have guilt from this. Because when I would say these things, I hate my life, I didn't realize the effect that it was having on my husband. I didn't realize how it was affecting him, right? and how it made him feel by me saying that. Did I hate my life? No, I didn't hate my life. Was I frustrated with situations in my life? Yes, a lot sometimes. You've said that too, Catherine. Well, like I said, I pray that this gets to the person it needs to get to tonight, because Spirit put it on my heart that I needed to talk about this, if it helps somebody. Okay, so I'm working through the guilt, because this just came up, because Spirit said you're not done. You still got some stuff that's hiding in there that you haven't worked on. And I'm like, I do, because I've been working really hard this year of doing a lot of shadow work and fixing myself and fixing behaviors and patterns, toxic patterns and behaviors. Thank you. And so, like I said, I have guilt now, because now that my husband has passed, I said this and I never realized how it made him feel, right? How many times do we say things when we're angry or frustrated, and we don't realize the effects that it has on someone else, right? Our children, our husband, whoever. Thank you. And so I just wanted to share that tonight. Like I said, in hopes that maybe it'll make somebody else realize sometimes before we get to that point of frustration, that we stop and think about things that we say before we say them. Oh, I know that. I know that. Is your name Freddie? Where are you from? Yes, I know that. And I don't know if you're on here, and you're obviously a Christian, so I'm not sure you're going to follow me with this, but I can actually hear my husband on the other side. I have the gift from God. I believe it's a gift from God. I have the ability to talk to my guides and to channel people from the other side. And I've already worked through it with him when this came up the other day. And I'm sorry, I've gotten a cat that's decided she wants attention at this moment. Anyway, and so, like I said, my guides just sprung it on me a few minutes before my live and said, if you have time, you can talk about the other thing that we wanted you to talk about, but right now we want you to talk about this because somebody needs to hear it. So, I hope if you needed to hear this tonight, you hear me. I mean, literally hear me. It is so important to pay attention to what we say, how we say it, because we never know the effects on other people. Anyway, that's pretty much what they wanted me to talk about tonight. Yes, I know he does. But that doesn't take away the guilt that I feel, right? That it's still emotion that I have, and I have to work through that, right? And Spirit says, by going live and talking about it, you're going to work through that, right? And I'm like, yes, I know, because they do this to me all the time. Anyway, so now that I've got that out of the way, I got to flip back because they did give me other topic to talk about tonight. Someone else's choices is not our responsibility. And I've talked about this before. So we're going to talk about it again tonight. And this can be, somebody's choice to unalive themselves. This can be somebody's addiction, domestic violence. This can relate to in so many topics. Hold on, I'm trying to... Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. Helps because my husband is struggling. Need to be more careful. Yes, and we don't always realize how our words affect others. And unfortunately, I did say this about a week before my husband unalived himself. It's too much to get into it right now, but basically the gist of it is, you know, how you make plans, right? And I, no offense to anybody that says God, I just don't say God. I say source or creator or divine, just because I've been down enough rabbit holes. There's a million gods. Which one are you referring to? Like I said, I agree to disagree with you. If you say God, that's your right. I just don't say that here. I believe source. You know, obviously we make plans, and then source was like, yeah, no, I have other plans for you. And now looking back, obviously I know why things didn't work out, because why things didn't work out the way that we had planned them to, right? I know that now. Yeah, lies in the tongue. Yeah, no, that is for sure. Thank you for the follow, Catherine. I appreciate that. And so I know that now. Obviously I didn't then, and I didn't realize, and I did see a switch in him that day, not for the better. And I tried to fix it, and obviously I couldn't. But that's a whole nother day story. So anyway, but I did say it, and I regret that now. And so just remember the things that you say and how they affect others. That's all. I'm doing well for the most part. Thank you, Chris. Where are you from? So if you're just hopping on, tell me who you are, where you're from. My name is Renee. I'm from South Dakota. Welcome. So now we're going to switch over to the topic of we're not responsible for someone else's choices, right? Another thing that I felt guilty about was obviously my husband unalived himself. I had a lot of guilt there. I have worked through that guilt. And I no longer feel guilty. I know now that his choice was his choice, and I'm not responsible for that. So that's what we're going to talk about tonight, is other people's choices and how they're not our responsibility, right? Addiction, domestic violence, somebody unalives themselves. I have to say that for TikTok purposes. And so I'm just I kind of just read what my guide spirit gives me. From Tennessee, welcome. I'm so glad to have you here. And so Spirit says addiction. They have to want help, right? And a lot of times when somebody has an addiction, and that can be many different things, but sometimes when somebody has an addiction, you know, we think we can fix them. And unfortunately, we have to remember that that's their choice, right? If they're choosing their addiction, then sometimes we have to take a step back and realize, okay, their choice is not our responsibility, right? And it's not our fault. You know, in the case of domestic violence, you know, if somebody's hurting you, they're choosing to be violent. That is not your fault. No matter what you do, it is not your fault. And then Spirit wanted me to talk about tough love with these things, right? Somebody has an addiction. It's not your fault. It's not your responsibility. And sometimes we have to take a step back, because just like all of our choices that we make in our lives, that is their choice. And sometimes we have to suffer the consequences. And for lack of better terms, we have to suffer the consequences, because that's how we learn, right? We learn from the choices that we make, and then consequences come with those choices, right? And so sometimes it's called tough love. Been there, done that. Not an easy thing. Where we have to step back, let them make their choice, let them learn their lesson, hopefully. But that doesn't mean that we can't love them from afar, is what I always say, right? Doesn't mean we can't pray for them and love them and support them from afar. It just means that sometimes it's best to take a step back and let them kind of walk through their choice, so to speak. Let me see if there was anything else. Does anybody, I forgot to say, we are not shy around here. You're welcome to interrupt me anytime. If you got anything you'd like to add or talk about, that's what we talk about here. We talk about healing. We talk about loss. If you're lonely, you're welcome to talk about that. So if anybody's got anything that they would like to share, chime in anytime. My page is your page, as long as you're being kind and respectful. That's all I ask. Anybody got anything they want to add to anything that I've said so far? I've been kind of talking a mile a minute, not letting anybody get a word in edgewise. Thank you for the likes, by the way. I appreciate that. Catherine, I appreciate your input too as well. Anybody? I appreciate you liking the live. So if you've been on if you haven't been, no, thank you so much. I appreciate you so much for sharing. You have anything else you want to talk about? Anybody? I pretty much already went over what Spirit wanted me to talk about. I have some good news to share. I like to always share good news. So if you got good news, share that too. We like to be uplifting and positive here too. Sometimes we do talk about sad things, but it's nice to have uplifting and good things that happen too. So I had some good things happen. So I used to do craft shows before my husband passed. And after my husband passed, he didn't leave me in a great spot financially. So obviously I had to go to work, right? Not that craft shows weren't work, trust me. Anyway, I sew many different things, and I haven't really sewn a lot since my husband passed. I'm kind of struggling with that, but I've been trying to sell some of my inventory. I had a lot of inventory made before he passed because had a couple shows planned, and then he passed, and then life happened, right? And so I needed some extra Christmas money, and so I thought, well, I'll just put it on Marketplace. Well, I had a lady contact me when I was at work today. She was interested. I make dog collar bandanas. You love to sew? That's awesome. I do too. Somehow my emotions with my sewing machine and my emotions with my husband, or maybe my crafts, I'm not exactly sure how it's tied, but I've really struggled to get back to my sewing machine. I have sewn a little bit. But really struggle with that since my husband passed. But anyway, so today I had a lady message me. She was interested in some of my dog collar bandanas. And so she came tonight to pick them up, and she proceeded to tell me that she is actually a vet, and not very far from my apartment is her veterinary clinic. And she said, I would love if you would want to sell some of your bandanas at my clinic. And if you're not familiar with my channel or the year that I've had, it's been a really rough year. My husband was a truck driver, and I can't make the kind of income that my husband could. And so it's just been a rough year. And so for me, that was like extremely great news for me today. And what I really needed with Christmas coming, and I've really just been struggling. So I'm sorry, I'm glad Mercury retrograde's over today. My emotions are all over the place. But anyway, so just some great news that I really needed today. And the good news is that I can make them fairly quickly, so I will be able to get some inventory made up, because I don't have a lot of Christmas inventory because I was selling in the summertime, and what little bit of Christmas I had she bought. So be able to get some Christmas inventory and get it over to her office this week. So anyway, so just great news that I needed today, and I thought I would share. So Anybody got anything they would like to talk about or share? What do you like to sew, Catherine? Is there anything specific you're struggling? Can you elaborate on that? Because I would love to know. Is it something we can help you with that you're struggling with? If you're just hopping on, tell me who you are, where you're from. If you're not familiar, my name is Renee. I'm from South Dakota. Welcome. Hey, Tanner. I'm glad that you hopped on. You missed all the drama. Missouri. Welcome. I will upload this to my YouTube channel in the morning. It gets uploaded the next day because it takes like 24 hours to process. So if you want to catch the full, all of it, you can catch it there. Sorry, just reading. Okay, so I'm going to do my shameless plug now since I've already said it. Spirit makes me say this. So I have a YouTube channel that I started a couple weeks, it's probably been about a month ago now. And that is Scorpio Medium. So if you're not subscribed, I would love it if you would become a subscriber. All my videos are uploaded there, and then my lives are also uploaded there. No, I just meant me talking about what I started talking about in the beginning. I don't know if you were here. You were here. You were talking to me about it. So I just called it drama. Tanner and I are good friends, and so we've already discussed Mercury retrograde and all of that earlier. So anyway, sorry about that. I just called it my drama. But anyway, so yeah, so all of my lives are uploaded there the next day, because like I said, it takes 24 hours to process on TikTok before they'll let me download it. So I'd love it if you would go over there and subscribe. I think there's a few videos of my older videos on there that I don't have on my TikTok. And then also you'll find my email, which is scorpiomedium74@yahoo.com. And if you would like me to channel a loved one, you can email me there to set that up. It's also on what's my website on here, because they won't let me put it anywhere else. So there's my shameless plug. Anybody else got anything else they want to talk about or add tonight? I already ran through my stuff. I talked too fast tonight, Tanner. If you're just hopping on, tell me who you are, where you're from. Anybody? Like I said, we're not shy around here. Has anybody... So if you missed it, we were talking... So I had told a story. Spirit sprung it on me 15 minutes before that I had to talk about my life, of course. And then now we were talking about someone else's choices is not our responsibility, right? And we were talking about whether that be somebody unaliving themselves, somebody's addiction, domestic violence. And so, has anybody experienced being an outsider to somebody's addiction and having to do the tough love thing? Been there, done that? Anybody? If anybody's still left with us. That's never fun. Okay, well, might be a short live tonight. Hey, there's Debbie Girl, your stepsister. Would you mind sharing? We like to ask questions here, so you can always not answer if you don't want to. Hey, Debbie Girl, we missed you. How are you? Do you mind sharing a little bit about your experience with your stepsister, or if you're just hopping on, tell us who you are, where you're from. So Debbie, have you subscribed to my YouTube channel? because I don't know if you knew, Debbie from Tennessee. Did you know that I upload my lives the next day because it takes them 24 hours to process it on TikTok before I can download it? I didn't know if you're a subscriber on my YouTube. You can go to there and see my lives when you miss them, Debbie. Just a thought. And that's at Scorpio Medium. I just thought of you because I know you've missed some of them the last couple weeks. We missed you. Oh, good. I'm glad. How are you doing? So Debbie's one of my regulars. Normally, she's missed the last couple weeks. If you're just hopping on, tell me who you are, where you're from. Kaz! Zach, how are you? My buddy. He's my buddy. He's been my buddy for what? How many years have you been my buddy, Zach? Like, what are we working on? Like 5 or 6 now? Something like that. Yeah, Catherine. And Debbie is from Tennessee too. I think she's from Memphis. Right, Debbie? Aren't you from Memphis? Many moons, 6 or 7. It's been a while. He's my buddy. How are you? How's life treating you? Zach, did you know I created a YouTube channel? I have a YouTube channel now you can go and check out. I have all my lives are on there. A few older videos that aren't on my TikTok. Waiting on the country. It's my YouTube is under Scorpio Medium. If you want to know. Kaz, Zach, I'm so used to calling him Kaz because that's his Facebook, but his name is Zach. Zach, where in Tennessee are you again? Debbie is in Memphis. And did I catch where you were at, Catherine? Debbie's one of my regulars. She lost her husband here a while back. His name is Zach, but he goes by Kaz Hemp. Because we've all gotten kicked off Facebook a couple times, so we couldn't go by our, you're north of Nashville, okay. Because we couldn't go by our normal names, so we had to start making up names. So Zach just flipped his name. I've been under not Renee. I have to be a good girl now, Zach. I can't not be a good girl no more. I have to be a good girl. I can't lose my channels now, my pages. Anyway, I've already talked about everything I was going to talk about tonight, guys. So if you missed it, it'll be uploaded to my YouTube channel tomorrow morning. It takes 24 hours, Zach, for me to, for them to process it here and then for me to download it. So the next day, it's when my lives get downloaded. So all my lives are there, most of them. I hope life's treating you good. I know, just waiting on the country. I hear you. It's under Scorpio Medium. And if I remember, I can send you a link on your text. I can text it to you. Got it? Okay. So yeah, anybody else have anything else they want to talk about tonight? Anybody? Anything you need to vent about? Get off your chest? Anyone? Otherwise, it's going to be a short live tonight. I talk too fast. You got something you want to say? Hey, we're an open forum here. Anything you want to talk about, Zach? If you're just hopping on, tell me who you are, where you're from. I'm hoping this week, Zach, I'll know, fingers crossed. I'll know if that new door's opening. Finally. I hope. And pray. You type too slow? You were going to ask me? Yeah, I don't go too much on here about it. But yeah, hopefully new doors coming in the next week. Use talk to text. That's what I do too, but you got to talk really slow so it doesn't screw it up. Well, you can always text me, you know that, right? Oh, it picks up my voice. Sorry. All right, guys. Well, anybody got anything else they want to say? Going once, going twice. Just a reminder, I try to be on here Sunday through Thursday live from 7 to 8 o'clock, sometime between 7 and 8 o'clock Mountain Time. Tuesday night, I think I have my grandson, so I'm not sure if I'll be on. Sometimes I can either go early or go late, depending on when I have him. My daughter's got to pick up a shift, so grandma's helping. So yeah, so maybe not Tuesday, but otherwise I'm here if I can be. So from 7 on. Yep. Sometimes I try to get on a little bit earlier than 7. Sometimes I'm a little late. I am in Mountain Time. So I'm I believe 2 hours, what is it? 2 hours behind you. Are you on Eastern Time? Debbie? Central. Okay, so I'm an hour behind you then, Debbie. Yeah, because I grew up in Central Time. So I'm an hour behind Central Time. So 8 o'clock your time, 7 o'clock my time. Okay, well, if nobody else got anything else they want to talk about or add, you're welcome. That's pretty much it. So I'm going to wish everybody, I hope y'all have a great night. Make tomorrow great. Remember, it's a choice. Remember, we all have things through our day that can upset us. Just think of them as speed bumps, right? Just go over them and keep going on with your day. On that note, you too, Debbie, I hope y'all have a blessed week also. And on that note, I'm going to say until we meet again.